great, perfect. So welcome to the meeting. Nice to meet you, Kareem, at last. And Joanna, hope you're doing great. We'll discuss in this meeting some matters with Kareem about his person and about his project, his work. And we'll talk with Joanna again about, like we did before, we'll talk again about what's happening with SIP 1694 and what's her updates on the workshop she's gonna do soon. And we'll talk with her about some other Cardano related stuff and things non-related to Cardano that can be related to Cardano. So at first, Kareem, so can you talk a little bit about yourself, like really briefly, tell us what where do you come from? I'm sure you said these information many times before, it's not the first time. Then we can talk about how you got involved in Cardano and what projects you're working on in Cardano, and other things related to MENA region.
Super, thank you. I'll try to be brief because I want to spend as much time as possible listening to Joanna. All right, I'm a Lebanese-born Canadian. I have German roots as well. I grew up in Dubai. I studied engineering in Canada, ended up in Haiti, doing various things, various verticals, including logistics, transport, maritime transport, and commerce. And then I came back to Dubai in 2008. Since then, I spent some time in retail and digital marketing before it was even called that. And for the last 8 to 9 years, I've been really focused on digital transformation, working with various consulting firms, building out this huge, let's say, warshi, we say in Arabic, work site that the GCC has become, which is really focusing on digital transformation, really enabling government and the infrastructure here in the region to leverage all the innovation and growth that digital offers. I'm currently working on some projects that we can talk about a little bit, other than the Cardano projects that I have. I've been involved with Cardano for the last 3 years. I've hosted events at my house, had the pleasure of having people from CF and the community at my house, and I attended the summit last year. I look forward to the summit in Dubai this year and hope to participate as much as possible. I have 2 startups that I'm trying to build on Cardano. One of them is funded by Fund 8, just a very little small amount, but it was enough just to kickstart let's say the project. I'm currently looking for co-founders to help with the, let's say, the marketing side and maybe even the technical side, since I'm not a coder. And I would say right now we are pitching to VCs, we are pitching to investors, and we believe that it's called Young Chain. For those of you that are interested to look at it, it was on Fund 8, and you can find the details there, I think, on Catalyst. And I'm confident so far that it would really transform the online food ordering business, really supercharge it, let's say, leverage what is existing, not so much disrupting or disintermediating, which is what it so often does, but really allowing the current players that have invested heavily, we're talking about hundreds of billions of dollars globally, to really leverage blockchain technology to improve the experience for everyone. The second one is in the influencer marketing space, and it is also about improving the way influencers get feedback from each and every piece of content that they create. In fact, influencers are content creators. We need to call them what they are. And allow companies that are using influencers, and we know that the marketing budgets spent on influencers is growing globally. We're talking about billions and billions of dollars. Right now, there is no, let's say, direct traceability between the content that's created and actual sales on either e-commerce or physical locations. And I want to leverage blockchain and Cardano technology to enable that, to bring that traceability for the investor, for the people that are spending money. For the influencers, I want to give them the ability to have that feedback loop so that they know if their content not only generates likes and views and followers, but actually show them how much they're generating in sales on the e-commerce side of their customer, of the brand, let's say, or in the business. And I have a plan on how to do that using blockchain. It's very early days on that project. I haven't been able to invest that much time on it because I do have a full-time job, but I'm quite confident that I'm going to find the right partners to create the story and take it to investors. So that's as far as Cardano. Do you guys have any questions? Joanna's already familiar with some of these. But Rami, any questions so far?
Yeah, so I remember reading your proposal back when it was fresh, fund date, and I remember we made like we talked about it on the group. We congratulated you, everyone. We were all proud of it, honestly. A lot of people were proud of this stepping stone, although small, but one after the other, I guess we're setting sail towards our common goal in the end of the day. So yes, I have a question. So apart from YumChain, any other blockchain projects or related projects in MENA region you are working on?
Yeah, as I mentioned, I am a digital transformation consultant. And I did spend even some time working with the Cardano commercial team, the IOG commercial team, up until the beginning of this year. Currently, I'm working on something that I consider to be a watershed project, meaning a really key project that could really drive adoption, not only regionally, but globally, and that is custody. So it's a digital asset custody solution that we're building here in the MENA region, in Abu Dhabi, more specifically. And it's designed for institutions to store their digital assets in a very secure way, not on a hardware wallet, on a ledger or nano or trezor, but really in the same way institutions manage their fiat assets or any other assets, with the same ability to have what's called the delegation of authority. If you have an organization, you have multiple directors and board members that may have signing rights and things like that. And it's going to go live this year. And I really believe that it's going to transform so it is going to be regulated and insured, which is saying a lot, and it's going to really give that confidence and that trust to institutions that they may be able to store their digital assets in a regulated, insured, trusted entity, and that should really be a big message to the world, right? That governments and it is let's say involving government, in the sense that there are some entities that are either semi-government or government that are really keen to have this. So this is something that I'm really excited about, and this is my main work, let's say, for the last 6 months, and will probably be for the next couple of years. Amazing. As a full-time job.
Amazing. Good luck, and whatever kind of support you need in any way possible, we are here on the group, in the community. This is what we're trying to do in the end of the day. So I assume you're familiar with Mr. Rudy Shoshani's work, since talking about your vision and what you do, and of course with Tawfiq Al-Rujla, which we'll discuss a bit later, the matter of the project they have, Flus, Joanna, and Tawfiq, amongst other partners. But now I want to ask you a very important question, since we talked about Cardano adoption and adoption of blockchain technology with governments and other things in general. What do you think about Cardano, specifically Cardano adoption in the area, and any ideas on whether there's some like positive feedback, constructive criticism, or these kinds of ideas?
This is a bit of a hot button topic. I'll try and be brief and try to keep it positive and constructive. I'm a big fan of Cardano. It's hard to hide. People, often make that point when they see me and ask me if I'm still a believer in Cardano, and I am, because I believe the fundamentals, the foundational principles, all the research and everything that's been done, that's being done, and continues to be done by the team at IOG, led by CH, by Charles, is really, really amazing, invaluable. One thing that I would like, and consider this a direct message to the team, is to see how we can raise the visibility of Cardano within the business and government communities here in the GCC, because even though sometimes they're the same meeting where some of the people from IG are, no one's talking about it, no one's talking to them, no one's communicating with these government entities and the authorities, let's say, about how to leverage Cardano technology. I'd like that conversation to happen. I'd like to facilitate it if possible. I've tried in the past when I knew that, there were key people at the right meetings where the IOG team was there, but I haven't succeeded yet. I'm not giving up. So I believe that conversations need to happen. There are projects that could be done. I don't know how viable commercially they would be in the beginning, but I really believe that with the amount of digital transformation happening in the UAE, in Saudi Arabia, we're talking about hundreds and hundreds of billions of dollars being invested right now. There is the opportunity to bring Cardano to the conversation, to the table, because Cardano has so much to offer. Right now, the conversations are not happening, and that visibility of Cardano is just not there, and we need to fix it.
Yeah, I hope this call will reach out, and amongst also the ambassadors, there's been the CF is trying to improve in many ways. There's more communication, there's more open discussions with the ambassadors, and I think they're trying to do a good job as much as they can. I mean, a first step is to do the Cardano Summit, the new Cardano Summit in Dubai, which is amazing. This is one step, and I'm sure I'll mention these things we talked about in the bi-weekly digest that Cardano Foundation asked for. They want us to discuss what's happening in the MENA region. They want to know what's the news, what's our concerns, etc. So I guess that's hence why we are having this meeting also, because some words need to be heard, And I mean, thanks again for voicing your concern this way, and I'm glad and proud to be able to broadcast this message. And shall we move to Joanna? She's been very busy. I'm actually very lucky that I got the chance to get hold of Joanna, because right now they're launching Flus. It got launched. They're like in too deep right now. So parallel to that, Joanna, how is your workshop on SIP 1694 going? And would you mind briefing us? Although also we talked about this before, but I think this is invaluable, as Kareem used this word. It's invaluable information that's very important concerning Cardano and Cardano adoption. worldwide and specifically in the MENA region. Any brief on what the workshop will cover? And please, like, the floor is yours.
Yeah, sure. I'll give a brief intro on what the workshop is. So I was lucky enough to attend the Colorado workshop where we discussed very heavily the SIP 1964. The SIP 1964 is the first proposal on a governance structure that would be implemented in this new era of decentralization within Cardano. So Voltaire era means where governance will now move from the couple of entities that have the power to make the decisions to the community. And this SIP covers how that could happen. So we attended the Colorado workshop, and after that, a byproduct was that it's very important to involve the wider community. So IOG proposed that people can put in their own proposals to run their own workshops, and then they can get funded that way. So I'm going to be hosting a virtual workshop, hopefully within the next month or so, specifically for our MENA community to get involved in the discussions. We'll be covering like very specific topics within the SIP 1964 and just discussing, answering some questions, having some roundtable discussions, and gathering some data. And from all of these workshops, all this data will go back to CF and IOG and all the people that were involved to kind of see how the wider community's input can be incorporated into the design of the SIP. I believe there's another person in our community that's going to be hosting an in-person workshop in Abu Dhabi as well, but I'm sure we'll be hearing from that very soon within our own chat. So that's it, and I'll definitely be sending some more information about the virtual workshop and everything we need in preparation for it and what we'll be doing very soon.
Amazing. I'll definitely be sharing the link of the video, the previous Cardano meeting, community meeting video, where you discussed a little bit more about the workshop that you had in Colorado and some of the valuable information that you had. So people can have a look if they're interested and go ahead and proceed and communicate with you and know more about the workshop that you're gonna have, hopefully in the coming month. So that aside, I want to ask you about Flus. If you can say in 2 or 3 sentences what Flus is and how is Flus good for the MENA region, and how can Flus help Cardano adoption, specifically in the MENA region, amongst other digital currencies. But let's...
Sure.
Yeah, go ahead.
So at Flus, we're building a suite of consumer and developer facing solutions, starting with our ramping aggregator. So we've noticed a big issue with developers when they want to onboard users into their platforms. They want to integrate ramping solutions where the users can buy and sell cryptocurrency. So they have to do multiple integrations because each provider caters to different jurisdictions or offers certain payment methods or currencies. So what we do is we aggregate all of these crypto ramping providers. As well, we have our own provider where that covers emerging markets. So we offer alternative payment methods like cash and mobile money. And we put all of that under a single SDK or API. So developers, rather than having to do all these like segmented integrations, they can just integrate with Flus and give their users global access to crypto. And why that's important for Cardano adoption or any ecosystem adoption is when there is platforms building within that ecosystem, they want their users to be able to on-ramp into their platforms. But right now there's very segregated payment methods and there's not a seamless way to be able to on-ramp these users into these platforms using local payment methods or payment methods that are suited to them. So by offering Flus, we give those developers and those users global access to crypto and to Cardano and ADA and solve that first step into crypto adoption. So why that's important for MENA region is because right now, for example, we've launched our beta that allows cash to crypto in Lebanon, for example. So if you're a marketplace that integrates with us, then your users, even in Lebanon or in certain other countries, in emerging countries, have a way to on-ramp into your platform. I hope that was short enough.
Yeah, exactly. I know for sure there's a lot of people right now in Lebanon, since I come from there, that are mainly count on Cardano ecosystem in order to sustain themselves and even their families in some cases. And everyone is so. I have a little question. I don't know, correct me if I'm wrong. So if there is, for example, I throw it out there. If there is a Forex company, for example, that's not specifically into trading cryptocurrencies, would Flus help this company to aggregate adoption of cryptocurrency? Or I don't know if it's something that you guys do or it's not. It's just a curious question. I don't know if you explained it. I didn't get it quite well.
So if it's a platform, for example, and they want their users to be able to buy their token or any cryptocurrency to be able to utilize within the platform, then yes, they can just integrate with our ramping solution. It's a very easy integration. It's a free integration. We actually have a revenue share module. And then that way their users can buy crypto using any payment method. So credit card, debit card, SEPA, bank transfer, in emerging markets, mobile money and cash. So all of these payment methods that cater specifically to that user. And we have a smart selection engine. So specifically where you are in the world, you'll be matched with a provider that's going to give you the highest rate of success for your transaction. So I'm in Canada right now, for example. I'd be matched with a provider that will work with my banking system and my payment method. In Lebanon, obviously, we'd be matched with our in-house provider so you can on-ramp with cash and so on. And you can check it out at buy.flus.com. You can actually initiate your own transaction. We're in beta right now. And why I've been so busy is because we actually listed our token on MEXC 2 days ago. So that's also very exciting. But yeah, this is all in hopes of, evolving the world's access to Web3. We've noticed that the biggest hurdle right now is actually getting into crypto. So we're trying to solve that initially. And then from there, obviously, we'll build other solutions that will keep evolving emerging markets and globally everyone's access to Web3, given that this, industry should be for everyone, and there shouldn't be these hurdles that separate people from being able to utilize or reap the benefits of it.
Amazing. You answered so many questions I have.
I want to add something. So it's amazing. I didn't know about Flus, to be honest. I hadn't read about it, and really excited for you and proud of the work that you guys are doing. I just wanted to say that while you guys are ramping up and helping people get access to crypto, maybe one thing that's overlooked and that I want to highlight both my projects, the consumer doesn't see any blockchain or crypto. So the blockchain crypto is for the back end. So whether it's Young Chain or Influence it is used. We're not trying to change the way people shop, or we know that's going to happen at some point. But right now, in order to drive adoption, we want to leverage the power of the technology for the back end. So we reduce the exposure or the reliance, let's say, on mass adoption, while you guys are preparing all these ecosystems and all these on-ramping options.
Yeah. No, absolutely. And I think it's separated this way, right? There's like the infrastructure layer that's being built and slowly ramping up to be able to serve the consumer layer and make it as seamless and as interoperable between Web 2 and Web 3 and all of that together. So it's really beautiful to see how all these different projects are building stuff to like bring this industry to a point where it's just another application that you use that you don't even know what it's built on or how it's being done. So there's definitely a lot of stuff being done in this space. It's interesting.
Yes, it is literally a solution, because you used the word many times, and it is a solution, really. So I'm looking forward. I'll go to the website, check it out. And I mean, Kareem, if you have any website or something I can check also, I would really appreciate it. and I would share it in the links, like in the YouTube video that I'm gonna post before the end of the month for sure. And
not as so not as yet. Not as yet. So far, we're still building and preparing and seeking funding for the Cardano projects, and even for the other project, it's not public yet. But once it is, I'll be glad to share it.
well, good luck. Good luck.
Did you get that? Okay. Okay.
And so you guys, I have to ask you guys, what do you think about what's happening with Ledger and all the news today? This is unrelated, but also related indirectly, but directly. So like, what's up with that? Any ideas about what's happening?
Well, I have a couple of comments, but I'd be keen to hear what Joanna has to say.
I mean, it's hard to take a stance because on one end, like I work very much on crypto adoption and accessibility and stuff, so I can understand the logic behind making it easier for people to interact and trust whatever, but it does hurt that it comes at the cost of the ethos of what we're doing with Web3 and crypto and decentralization and complete ownership and all of that. I think there's going to be these trade-offs till we get to the point technologically and from a UX and adoption perspective that we don't have to have these trade-offs this way. But till then, I think companies are going to be trying their hardest to do what they have to do to cater for everyone, I guess.
Yeah, I agree with you, Joanne. I think that, and I'll dive in a little bit. It's a bit of a sensitive topic. There is, in crypto, we have people that feel very strongly about libertarians. They don't want any control. They don't want any regulations. They want that freedom, and we sympathize and empathize. It makes sense. But at the same time, if we want to support users that don't have that level of tech, our parents, our friends that we know, we all have friends that don't understand crypto. I have a friend that has invested in Cardano, that has it on Binance. He still doesn't know, he doesn't understand what a wallet is. So I think Ledger probably could have managed the PR better. They could have even created a new product, right? Separate product that has that recovery feature and kept it separate. Instead, they've kind of bundled it into their actual product and left it as an option. And that's a commercial decision. That's a decision they made. And maybe if they could revisit it or if they could redo it again, maybe they would have done it differently. But, for me, this is normal. It's normal to have products that allow you to recover your keys and to have, just like I talked about digital asset custody, to be able to go to a bank and secure your account, digital asset bank, and secure your funds and know that if you pass away, it's going to follow. It's your family is going to be taken care of. Your wishes, your inheritance is going to be managed, and this is the way the world works. And I understand that some people don't like it because crypto so far was really niche and still is. What are we talking about in terms of adoption? Are we at 1%? I don't know what the number is, right? How many people actually understand? Yeah, 1 or 2% really understand crypto and have adopted it, and we need to offer this to the greater community. And in order to do that, you don't need to know TCP, IP addresses in order to go on Google and search. You just go in and you punch in a word. And we need to make crypto and blockchain as easy as it is to go on Google and search for a video on YouTube.
I would very much agree with that. I would just say, I think it should be at the expense of the promise of sovereignty when it comes to ownership of any sort. Whether it's your own data privacy or your own money or whatever it is, because I think this is what this technology promises and is what is actually available because of this technology. We're just early. So I think, like I mentioned, it's just this trade-off of how big can we scale? What can we do now? But it's hard to make these decisions that are difficult to revert from. So I agree that I think it should have maybe been a separate product, or there is a lot of products now that exist where you can, like we were building something similar, a non-custodial keyless wallet where you can use your biometrics. There's the MPC and all of these technologies. So it's good to separate, I think, and cater to the people that are here for this promise of sovereignty, and then the rest of the world that will be involved and then learn enough to probably migrate into what this technology promises. So yeah, I very much agree with what you said, and we'll see. We never even know whatever's happening with regulations and all of that even. So
yeah, I think the challenge here is that privacy laws and the right to privacy and freedom, it's so complex and varies from country to country and jurisdiction to jurisdiction. And as we become somehow, blockchain is kind of unifying all of us, putting us all into the same kind of basket. It's hard to kind of separate and understand what you can do where, right? And your project with Flus takes care of that by explaining that, depending on where you are, you're able to do certain things with certain service providers. So I think even those questions, right, need to be addressed in a clear way when we talk. We can't just talk in general. When we talk about privacy and security and justice and freedom, it really depends where you live and the laws that you have to follow in order to live there as a legal citizen or resident.
Yeah. Very much agree. I'm hoping that we have certain standards and stuff that can come out and unify the world in that respect, like the DID standards and those laws. But I know I'm a dreamer, but I think it'll come. We just have to keep fighting the good fight.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so thanks for your opinions on the matter, guys. I really appreciate it. It's a time where we can see the point of view of Ledger and understand it, and at the same time see the point of view of the people that are opposing this and understand it. We're in great times, I guess. But let's hope for the best. Let's hope, buckle up and hope for the best, and time will tell everything, I guess.
Every time a car manufacturer decides to change the way you interact with the radio, you have people that oppose it, right? I'm sure when they change the gear stick from the steering column to the bottom, everything is a discussion, and we have passionate community that feels strongly, and this is change. People don't like change. Once they're used to something, they want it to stay the same. But I think we need to embrace innovation and change with a more open mindset and really look at perspective. So yeah, if we take that company's perspective, they're trying to grow their business and offer to a wider community. But how they manage that, how they communicate about that is the key. That's the lesson I think to be learned.
Amazing. Thank you for sharing this insight. And thanks again, guys. We're down to 3 minutes. So thank you again so much for your time.
Thank you.
Joanna is joining us from Canada. So thank you, Joanna. It's very early there, I assume.
Very nice to see you guys always.
Yeah, that was awesome. And
great to chat with you guys.
I hope we reunite in Dubai in the summer.
I look forward to it.
Me
Hopefully.
too.
So thanks again, and I hope you guys have a great weekend ahead, and let's hopefully all meet up soon in Dubai or wherever in the world, and be safe, and have a good day.
Bye-bye.
Thanks, guys. Bye.
Thanks again.
Bye.
Bye.